Monday Night Raw Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Raw, SmackDown, and or PLEs. And if they bring back Monday Night Nitro, don't know how they would, but I would totally do hot takes on that. I apologize if my voice is a little raspy because, well, you know what? A lot of wrestling content this weekend, but I love it. No complaints. Let's go. We got Eric saying Raw was better than Night 2 of Wrestlemania. Honestly, I think Raw was better than Night 1 as well. We got Reality Rick. They absolutely launched Braun Breaker's career to the next galaxy in 5 minutes. Gosh, I love what they did with Braun Breaker. This is like textbook how to get someone over. They win the Intercontinental title. They have a strong run. They lose it somehow strong, which he did. He didn't even get pinned. And then onward and upward, you just move forward and go to the main event. Great job with Braun Breaker. Eddie Broski, the dogs are barking in the main event. Woof, woof, woof. Jimbo Slice, I knew that Seth would free up Heyman to take Braun as a client. I do believe that Jimbo Slice did call this a couple weeks back, but I'll say this, it's amazing. I hate that Paul Heyman did betray our tribal chief, but the possibilities are now endless because Roman would never let Paul have other clients. But Seth and Paul are devious enough to be like, Seth will be like, how can all these people protect me and I can invoke all my plans? And Paul Heyman is like, how can all these people pay me so I can invoke all my plans? It's the perfect storm of diabolicalness and talent. It's OTW. Now that Braun Breaker is officially in the main event scene, I feel he would be the perfect guy to take the title off Jey. I know Seth's the bigger star at the moment, but with the right build, Braun can be seen as just as big of a star, if not bigger. The history between him and Jey already there as well. I actually do want Braun to go after Jey. I think that would be great. The problem is, because Jey Uso, he holds this title now. The problem is John Cena is a heel. I think Seth Rollins will want a title as well, and Seth is the inaugural World Championship title holder. So I feel it's going to be Seth that actually goes for it. Now, if Cody had the championship or if Face had the undisputed, then it would be a different story. But as of right now, I do think while Braun would be awesome and amazing, I would love it. I think this is Evolution 2.0. Therefore, Seth is the one that's going to get the big gold. And if you, the viewer, want this belt right here also, then all you got to do is comment below. I'm serious. I'm going to give it away at 20,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job. That's right, trying to follow the dream and produce wrestling content full time. So, like I said, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. That's all you got to do, plus maybe a thumbs up. That'd be kind. The thumbs up is like bonus, the icing on the cake, but could you hook it up? This belt's about $500 to $600 now, so just help me out with all those 3 things, and I'll ship it anywhere in the world. Free shipping, even. All right, next hot take on the best Raw since, I don't know, forever. MSlide84 agrees with me. This episode of Raw was better than the whole WrestleMania. I agree. That's insane. Could we be seeing a new faction from Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and a heel Becky Lynch? Haven't been this excited after a Raw in a while. Oh yeah, what if the third man was Becky Lynch? The man. Her and Seth are married. I actually do hope they keep them apart. But they're both heels. I could see it, but I just don't want, I don't know. I just feel like Becky's career is definitely standalone, and so is Seth Rollins. They don't need to be they don't need to rely on each other for the other star power. But that said, I wouldn't mind it either. I would prefer if they remain solo, but it wouldn't kill it for me. Let's say that. Mikey Jewell, hot take. Kevin Owens getting injured was a blessing in disguise that has now set up Orton versus Cena that everybody wanted. Not saying I'm glad KO is hurt and hope he recovers completely. I understand what you're saying. So for in no world is Mikey Jewell saying that he's glad that Kevin is hurt, but he is saying that it's a blessing in disguise because now the potential is there for multiple stories. I think we could have got Randy and Cena no matter what, but that said, maybe we're getting a little quicker. I don't know. It has happened before where blessings happen from injuries. I mean, Becky Lynch herself, her character of the man came from a broken nose, an actual broken nose that Nia delivered to her. She literally had to give up her spot at a Survivor Series, but that broken nose would lead her to the main event of WrestleMania. So there was an injury that was a blessing in disguise. CM Punk getting injured last year at Royal Rumble was a blessing in disguise because we got the Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud out of it. So I get what you're saying, and I am very happy that Randy Orton versus John Cena right now. That's gonna be like I still can't believe we're in a world where we have heel John Cena and face Randy Orton. So I don't know if Kevin Owens' injury is what needed to happen in order to get to that, to this timeline, but your comment is read. Mikey Jewell, after Raw tonight, it shows us that the future is looking bright with potential to surpass how hot wrestling was leading into 40, but we shouldn't have to suffer as fans with horrible decisions to lead us there. I agree. So he's saying, like, what if Raw is only as good as it was last night because of all the horrible things that happened at 40? It seems like a pattern has been having of the best storylines ever with must-watch wrestling for it to lead to a huge moment to then have absolute garbage for a while. And I will say this, WrestleMania 40 was way better than WrestleMania 41, but the aftermath was not. And here we now are in a world where WrestleMania 41 was not that good, in my opinion. If you loved WrestleMania 41, then more power to you. But the aftermath of WrestleMania 41, even in just one night, seems to be just, I don't know, endless possibilities. So, Mr. Milks, Paul Heyman no-sold a Superman punch. He did go down, but because it was Paul Heyman, you'd have expected him to just be out cold for like months. But he did get up pretty quick. I understand why, because he needed to get up so Roman could go for a spear. And that way, then Braun Breaker could come out of nowhere and spear Roman. So I understand why it happened, but you are right. Paul Heyman got up rather quick from one of Roman Reigns' bigger moves. Hot take from We're Here From Wrestling. Rusev return is mid at best. Yes, it was mid considering everything that happened. They might have wanted to save Rusev for SmackDown or even next week because it wasn't like it wasn't bad at all, but a lot has changed in 5 years, so not everybody really knows who Rusev is anymore. Plus, the fact is, just so much happened. We had a promo from John Cena and an RKO from Randy Orton to start off with, and then we end with the huge revelation of Seth Rollins and his new faction. Like, that's insane. Plus the Stephanie Fakir match and Becky turning heel and just like, and everything. Gunther attacking the announcers. There was so much on Raw that at this point, we're not talking about Rusev. So that, you are right, it was mid. Not bad, but like, it could have probably been more impactful if they just held off a little bit longer. Not complaining, though. I'm definitely not complaining. I'm just saying, ooh, in hindsight, we could have made this a little better. DP Hera, the Raw was better than WrestleMania 41 for me as far as shock, fun, and general excitement goes. I was out of my seat multiple times. It was amazing. I absolutely agree with this. My yawn counter only got up to 4, and that's because I was super tired. I was super tired going into Raw, but I'll tell you what, I was more tired going into Raw than I was exiting Raw. By the time Raw was over, I was pumped. Tis Mickey, Braun Breaker really folded up our tribal chief like origami. Tear face emoji. Yes, Roman Reigns took that spear. Let me tell you something. I am very, very impressed with Roman Reigns and his willingness to put talent over. And you're like, what? He just took a spear? That's not putting people over. Roman Reigns has built himself so powerful and massive that taking a spear like that is putting people over. And Roman Reigns has done it again. He's done it again. We're talking about Braun Breaker right now for one of the reasons, because of his dominant performance against the Tribal Chief. So, like, you know, thank you, Roman. Aaliyah Hunt has a little bit of an opposite view. I also really hate how bad they got my Tribal Chief looking right now. Braun Breaker versus Roman would be a great match when they aren't just stomping on Roman. So that's fair, though. That's fair. I can understand. You're like, why are they making him look weak? He didn't win his match at WrestleMania. When was the last time he won? He lost Royal Rumble. He's getting beat up by a rookie here. And so I understand that statement, but I will say this. Whether we like it or not, Roman Reigns has gone on record and said that he's at the tail end of his career. He's got like, what, 3 years tops left? So Roman knows how to do business, and he's going to set the WWE up for success, and he's going to handpick probably a couple rookies to really get WWE through the next 10 or 15 years. That was the beginning of his long-term plan to elevate so he can leave WWE in a better place than when he got here. But Aaliyah Hunt also says, love the Randy and Cena moment. I'm hoping they have a Sammy versus Jey match and Jey turns heel to keep the belt in some form for the future. I did love the Randy Cena moment when Randy just kind of just popped up like a serial killer in a horror movie. That was pretty amazing and awesome. Usually we just go to the RKO out of nowhere, but it was kind of like they gave us Randy out of nowhere and then the RKO. So I actually really like that they changed it up just a tad so we could really build that. Yes, John Cena's about to get some up and comings. I don't think we need to flip Jey yet, though. There's a lot of clues that they're gonna flip Jey, but with everybody, it seems like everybody flipped last night. It's a hard reset. Faces are heels, and I don't think any heels have turned face yet. But I think Jey's fine where he's at right now, but you know, if he flipped, I don't think I wouldn't be like, oh gosh, this ruins wrestling. Robert Jones, my fear about Penta coming to fruition. Why have the women's tag tonight? Could have saved it for Backlash. That's valid on the women's thing. A one-night hot shot kind of shows that it was just there for WrestleMania, which not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. Maybe I think I would have preferred. I think I would have preferred it at Backlash. I hadn't thought of that. But I think you're right. And then we could have built maybe a stronger bond, show the WWE audience a stronger bond between Lyra and Becky. So I agree with you there, Robot. Sorry. I agree with you, Robot. And, the fears about Penta coming to fruition, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it's, don't sound the alarm bells just yet. I think Penta's still in a good spot. Dominic was just so over. Dominic was like the most over person at WrestleMania 41. So for him to beat Penta makes sense because Finn and Dom are going to have a bigger storyline moving forward. And Braun Breaker, well, he left the Intercontinental scene. So Penta was the option there. But I get what you're saying. And I guess if Penta was like my favorite guy, like he was like one of my top 3, I'd be worried too if I were you. But because he's like more top 10, I'm like, it's cool. We can wait a week or two before we sound the alarm. So your fears are justified. I just don't share them yet with you. Armani Goodwin, the long entrance and the crowd singing just kills me about this era. It's weird. Sometimes I love the crowd singing, like in Europe, but then sometimes I'm like, why are we singing Seth Rollins' entrance right now? We should hate the guy. And it's like very hard to get heat when you guys are doing, whoa, you know, so it's like, I don't know. Seth Rollins might have to take a play from John Cena and take away what the fans love in order to get the heat. Najib, I don't like Jey, but I have to respect him. He showed me that hard work works in the end, even if it's 20 years. Was kind of hoping for Sammy to turn. I think we all thought Sammy was going to turn. There was a moment where Jey was on the turnbuckle celebrating his win, and Sammy was right behind him. And he had just said how everything was so hard and he missed WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm very happy that you respect Jey Uso. That's the thing. You don't have to like these wrestlers, but you can at least appreciate their hard work. Sometimes I'll see people just like completely trash somebody, and I'm like, do we have to trash them? Can we just say we're not enjoying their character? Unless they're Goldberg. You can trash Goldberg if you want. Actually, I encourage you trashing Goldberg. But everybody else, it's like, let's respect the hard work that it took to get here. Cam Nami, Becky and Lyra should never have won the title just to lose it in less than 24 hours. Becky should have come out as heel at WrestleMania and body slam Lyra then. I think they did it to give us, I thought about this on my one take one shot video yesterday, or was it like I don't know, at some point, all the videos from this weekend are blending together. At some point I realized they did it because they wanted to give the fans something happy to latch on to, because they were about to give us the worst main event of all time at WrestleMania 41. And again, if you like the WrestleMania 41 main event, awesome. Kudos to you. But it seems like they purposely went out to make a bad match, which they succeeded. So I think that's why they gave us that title, that return, and the title shot, plus they wanted a shock value of tonight. But I agree with Robot said earlier. I wish they would have just turned that backlash. Donatello Leonardo, please explain to me why people think Gunther tap in 3 seconds made sense, but made McAfee lasted a whole 2 minutes in the sleeper and walked away. Yes, explain it to me like I'm a 7-year-old, please, because that tap, I'm going to die on this hill. Gunther should not have tapped early. Though I will say, someone did explain it to me in a comment where I was like, fine, I see the logic, but I really don't want to see that logic. And I'm not saying I agree with that logic, but at least there could be some logic. And the logic was this. What did it say? Gunther's like a chess player, right? And he knows that move, that is his kryptonite. He doesn't know how to get out of it. He can't take it no matter what, because it's the same move that Ilya Dragunov got him in, 100 years ago at NXT UK. So when Jey got him, he knew he was cooked, so he just tapped out. Live to fight another day. He's a heel, so he doesn't have nothing to prove. So it was like, I don't care. I'm gonna lose. I know I'm gonna lose. That's fine. Whatever. I'm out. Peace. So that was the explanation. The only explanation so far that I've gotten that I can be like, maybe, but I still don't buy it. I still don't buy it fully, but that's the best I've got for you, Donatello Leonardo. If fans out there, subscribers out there can tell me why they feel that Pat McAfee can take the move better than Gunther, I'm all ears. Actually, I only have 2 ears, but LFC, YNWA, I loved the crap from Cena. Yeah, that was awesome. I love John Cena. This was like, I liked the John Cena we got tonight better than the John Cena we've been getting into WrestleMania. Maybe it took him a month to really kind of find his character, but, and then the RKO from Randy, pure comedy gold right there. Yeah, good stuff. John Cena played the crowd very, very well. I think he's starting to pivot just a little, while not forgetting what has already happened. Cam Nami, Rusev, and Logan Paul should go after Jey, having Jey win and slowly become a new tribal chief, maybe even bringing in Solo after Jacob turns on him. I wouldn't mind the rebuilding of the Bloodline. I actually am going to do a video. I thought of a video today that, honestly, OG Bloodline completely dead after last night, and I'm going to do a whole video on it, hopefully on Thursday or Wednesday. Wow, gosh, tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't know if my voice can do a video tomorrow, but I'm going to try. But we'll see. I got like a whole idea about how the OG Bloodline is dead from tonight. So what if Jey reforms, starts up a new one. I would like Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul would be a great choice for Jey. Problem is, I love Jey Uso, but I don't think he could carry Logan Paul to a really good match. I think Logan Paul needs a really good ring general in order to get a really good match from him. Logan Paul's getting there though, and Rusev would be interesting. It would be hard because he's so new. I think Jey would be great if he started a feud with Ludwig Kaiser on Raw. You know, Ludwig trying to get revenge for Gunther. Grande Americano for Backlash, believe it or not. And then Sheamus. And then Jey can lose his title. Give him like 3 decent feuds before he loses his title. And I know everyone's gonna hate those picks. I already know. You guys are gonna want, no, we want Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins. We want Jey Uso versus Randy Orton. Let's do what we did with Damian Priest last year. Give him some challenges that aren't too over the moon, where we can build a nice little world championship little run. CC Barker, why is Julia on Raw? I think it was just to dip her toes, introduce the idea that the NXT women are about to all be called up, because they're ready. They are ready. It's just they're not there yet. So this was just more of a, hey guys, this is Julia. This is Stephanie. It was an introduction. Retro Days, yo, Stephanie Vakir. Wow, ouch. Yeah, I'm telling you, she is good. She is good. If you're sleeping on NXT, go and watch NXT. Unfortunately, I don't get to watch it on the day of usually because I work a lot on Tuesdays at my actual day job. But Stephanie Vakir, Julia, great talent, plus everybody else. If you haven't been watching NXT, you are in for a treat, because a lot of these call-ups are amazing people. My hero is John Cena. I think WWE really needs to turn back John Cena's babyface, because if all his future matches with people end up being terrible trash, then I'm afraid that WWE will lose a lot of new fans when John Cena leaves for good. I actually agree. I don't like the really bad matches. I get it. It's part of storyline. I did a whole 15 minutes on Hot Takes yesterday talking about how I understand the purpose of the WrestleMania 41 was to be a bad match, and John Cena wants to ruin wrestling, but I think overall it hurts new wrestling fans, and all I got was, well, that was the purpose. He wants to ruin wrestling. And it's like you don't understand what I said. I said I understand that's the purpose, but we all know that's not the real purpose. So I do agree with you. I think trash matches are not the way to go. But I also think that now that we're out of Wrestlemania and it's not the main event, then there is a way to do it now. It should have been done at WrestleMania 41. Raphael at air, I never knew an unhinged Gunther would be an interesting storyline. Pat versus Gunther won't be bad, but it's a downgrade. I like an unhinged Gunther, and Pat McAfee can actually go. He can actually go. Now, if he wins, I will be livid, but I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther just pick on some people not his size for a while. 2, Finn is definitely turning on Dom. Dom stocks holders are eating good while Finn stocks are ready to go boom. Let's see if Finn can do something other than take the loss. 3, I am happy my boy Rusev returned on Rusev Day, and he looks jacked. Yeah, amazing that Rusev coincidentally returned on Rusev Day. Very, very happy. Also, today is coincidentally Rusev Day, so everybody have a happy Rusev Day. 4, I'm so happy for Braun to finally work with Paul Heyman. He and Rollins his and Rollins run with Heyman will be the stuff of legends. Yes, legendary. If they can even meet half the success of Evolution, this will be a monumental faction. Donatello Leonardo, I'd love to see Bronson Reed return as the third man in Seth's alliance. That's a very interesting prospect. When we last left, they were feuding, but who knows? Armani Goodwin, see, this 10 out of 10 Raw is what happens when you prioritize story over long matches. And you can even have long matches. That Stephanie Vakir match with Io Sky was a long match, but still very, very good. And felt amazing and fit right into Raw. Colin Wells, I'm sick of Rhea. Triple H was cooking until he put her in the segment. To be fair, someone needed to break everybody up. I understand why they did it with Rhea. Like it or not, Rhea's still a huge star. She's not on my Christmas card list. I'm not a huge Rhea fan when she's a babyface, but I do understand why they had her there. But your feelings are heard and valid. Jordan Alexander. Crazy how we all thought Rock was about to build a super faction, but it turns out it was actually Seth Rollins. I have questions, which means I care, which means this is a good story. And even better, Seth Rollins will show up. I am so done with you, The Rock. I am officially mad at you on this channel. I know it's going to be hard for you to sleep at night with me mad at you, but you're just going to have to find a way, Rock, because you failed us. You failed us. But Seth Rollins, you saved us, buddy. We love you. You are our architect. Ghost of Socrates. Love that name. WWE has made The Rock's involvement in Cena's heel turn feel like a Mandela effect. You're right. Did it even happen? I think I remember that The Rock came in for a giant storyline at WrestleMania, but did he really? I don't know anymore. And you know what? Actually, though, The Rock is set to appear on the Pat McAfee show tonight. So let's see what kind of bullcrap he tells us why he didn't show. Oh, yeah, it was all planned. So fans weren't entertained. Can you imagine any other company that wants to actively not entertain their fans and then blame us when we aren't entertained by it? Patrick Powell, surprise RKO, backlash in 3 weeks. St. Louis, Randy's hometown, coincidence? I think not. Columbia Kid, nice to see all the top women making appearances on Raw. Also, is Seth forming a new Shield group? Hopefully he's forming more of an Evolution group, but I understand why you would think a Shield group. And who could, right now they say that Ric Flair is the Paul Heyman of the group, or Paul Heyman's the Ric Flair of the group, but what if we got someone else? Who could it be, though? It'd have to be a really older wrestler, and then we need a younger wrestler. Someone said Ludwig Kaiser. I think he was down to tell Leonardo. Ludwig would be a good choice to be the Randy Orton. Braun is the Batista. Seth is Triple H. Who could be Ric Flair if it wasn't Paul Heyman? Comment below who you think that could be. Tiz Mickey, in the 3 years I've been a wrestling fan, that was undoubtedly the best Raw I've ever seen. Words cannot express how grateful I am to have been in the arena. Oh, you were there. I am so jealous. Lost my voice listening to that in person. I'm losing my voice just watching it on TV. I can only imagine in person. Others may disagree, but I don't care. No one disagrees with you. This was such a good Raw. It's almost like Triple H wanted to hurry up and get Mania over so he could hit the reset button. Maybe he did. Honestly, maybe The Rock came in, screwed everything up, and Triple H was like, fine, you can do WrestleMania. I'll do after WrestleMania. But I'm not going to fully let Triple H off the hook. Too many Hall of Fame videos. TTJC, the ending is why we got Jay's, Sammy, and Jimmy's Love Fest. Seth always wants the gold, so he's going to be going for the title. Yeah, he could tag with Braun, but not likely. And Seth is not selfless enough to put the title on Braun unless he plans to screw him over. Either way, with Seth rolls around Jay, he will need all the help he can get. Okay, so a little faction warfare there. Seth goes after Jay, but he has backup with Braun and whoever, and then they go after Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay. That'd be all right, because unfortunately, Seth isn't going to go after John Cena, so Jay would be an easy target. Kai, looks like Sammy has a wandering eye. Yeah, I think we all thought Sammy was going to turn on Jay last night. My hero is John Cena. I love the Stephanie Fakir versus Io Sky match. It was a banger. I think my new favorite women's wrestler is Io Sky because she can have an awesome match with everyone. Yeah, Io Sky did a great job. Io Sky is really, I'm glad she's getting her flowers. I'm definitely glad that people are really flocking to her. Rolanda Lynch, after WrestleMania, Roman Reigns is a nostalgia act. Ooh, ouch. I don't think we're there yet. But I think Roman Reigns' his long absence between matches without the world title is making people move on from him. I'm not gonna lie. I love Roman Reigns. That wasn't me insulting the dude. And then number 2, Liv and Dominic as anti-heels. They aren't baby faces, but the crowd cheers for them because Liv and Dominic are so entertaining despite the bad booking. Or, you know what? I never thought of that. Anti-heroes, but anti-heels. That's actually kind of good. I wouldn't mind that. Pro Gamer RKO. I love the fact that Braun is finally a Paul Heyman guy, technically, since he joined Seth. Yeah, he's a Paul Heyman guy. He's He's a Paul Heyman guy, and could do great things for him. Yes, this is sky's the limit for Braun Breaker without Paul. Now imagine with Paul. Sky's even more the limit. Sky's the limit. Sky's not even the limit anymore. Now we're going to outer space. Christian Jasso. Jey Uso should hold the world title for around a year. I also would want him to defend the championship at least as much as Seth used to back in the day. I agree. I would love for him to defend it as much as Seth, and he did imply that he would be here every week and stuff, but I don't want him to hold it for a year. I think that's too long. I want to have this world title to switch it up more than the Undisputed. Frank Oakley III, hot take: if Rollins and Paul are making an evolution 2.0, it needs to be Seth as H, Braun as Batista, Paul as Flair, and Mello as Randy. Ooh, Mello as Randy. I think Ludwig Kaiser would make a good Randy, but Mello as Randy is not a horrible thought. S197, Rex, why try and job out Roman when he the reason WWE didn't fall off some years ago? I get it. Roman did bring us out of the, 2020 era, the horrible Thunderdome era that, the world shut down, whatever. But at the end of the day, wrestling is all about putting over talent. And when your time has come, it is your obligation as a wrestler to put over the next generation. Roman has said he's almost out. Roman has said he's almost done. There's a John Cena clock counter, 27, right? We got 27 more appearances. Honestly, we might only have 27 more appearances of Roman Reigns too. And Roman has a lot to say on his character. So it's not that they're jobbing it out. It's Roman respecting the traditions of the business. And those are your hot takes for Monday Night Raw. Sorry I couldn't get to everybody. My voice, I'm about to lose it. I gotta go if I want to do a video tomorrow. And plus, I gotta talk all day at my job. So, boys, girls, have yourselves a great day. It was a great and wonderful WrestleMania weekend. If you're new to the channel, thank you. Thank you for joining and giving us a chance. If you're old to the channel, thank you for staying and continuing to give me a chance. I appreciate every single one of you. Boys and girls, have yourselves a great day. Onward to WrestleMania 42.